November 19th, from October 5 to November 19th, one of the biggest events that was held in India in the world of cricket and in the world of sports was the ICC ODI World Cup. Now, 30 plus days have gone by. If you want to know the exact thing, it's been close to 38 days ever since the final happened. That final saw 1 billion hearts being broken. Australia emerged as the 6-time champions. But if you have to look at how this ICC ODI World Cup was holistically, it was a grand success. Somewhere down the line, credit has to be given to the BCCI from the bad start that they had, announcing the schedule just 100 days prior to the start of the tournament. So many reschedulements, especially when it came to Pakistan. In England, Pakistan, India, Pakistan, and because of that, every other game was rescheduled in that sense in October and November. Despite all the mismanagement that happened at the start of the tournament, ticket sales, lack of build-up, lack of marketing, the tournament was an overwhelming success. Recently, the ICC gave a press release wherein it highlighted what are the numbers in that particular sense. Numbers as far as growth is concerned, views is concerned. See, the benchmark is quite, you may say, outdated because look, 2011, technology had not yet proliferated that much. 2023, in the middle of a streaming revolution that we have got, we have seen numbers go through the roof. First, the yardstick was millions. Now it is in billions and trillions because these are the numbers that the ICC have officially given when it comes to the ICC ODI World Cup. If you look at streaming, if you look at all the TV and other devices combined, this ICC ODI World Cup had 1 trillion viewing minutes. 1 trillion, which means it is a 38% increase from a decade ago. And on top of that, just from live streaming alone, 177 billion live viewing from streaming platforms alone. Out of that, 16.9 billion video views on several ICC platforms like their ICC Instagram, their ICC Facebook, their ICC Twitter, every other kind where videos were streamed. ICC had a windfall. 16.9 billion, 177 billion, total 177, over 1 trillion viewing minutes. Trillions and billions, that is the name. But more than the numbers that have been generated, which was the most viewed match in the history of the ICC ODI World Cup 2023? If you have to look at the concurrent numbers that were generated from the streaming platforms, there is a slight surprise, but not that surprising. Since if you look at it, India made it to the final, but obvious it had to be the most viewed match in the history of the ICC ODI World Cup. 59 million peak concurrents, India versus Australia final. If you look at both the New Zealand games that India played in, that had a high concurrence because if you look at it, 53 million concurrents in the India-New Zealand semi-final and India-New Zealand league game at Dharamshala. 53 million, 43 million. Surprisingly, India-South Africa is third on the list with 44 million peak concurrents. But why was that? Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli's 49th century plus Virat Kohli's 50th century and the way how New Zealand put up a fight in that match in the semi-final made it a very high concurrent viewing match. Look at where India-Pakistan is. For all the hype, for all the jingoism, for all the cash revenue that they were expecting to get from this game, for all the bilateral tensions which was not worth it, 35 million views, concurrent, that was the peak. Did not help the fact that Pakistan put up yet another substandard performance against India to go 8-0 down in the ICC ODI situation. So, all the hype of India versus Pakistan has to now be put into rest if you are building up to 24, 25 and 27. But because the Indian ethos is such that you want to make India-Pakistan a rivalry which is very jingoistic, these numbers will not back it up. Marketing wise also, it is no longer sustainable to put your money on an India versus Pakistan encounter because there is just no contest, especially in ODIs. Sure, T20Is can put up a bit of a thriller here and there. Melbourne 2022 was an exception to the norm. It was the first proper thriller after 15 years when it came to an India-Pakistan T20I. But apart from that, it has been woefully one-sided. So, if the lesson is there, India-Australia is actually your peak rivalry. It's no longer India versus Pakistan. But which were the major moments which made the ICC ODI World Cup the ultimate viewing experience? Not surprisingly again, it has to come down to India because the most viewed moment in the ICC ODI World Cup 2023 was Glenn Maxwell's 200. Glenn Maxwell's 200, battling cramps, battling a failing body, 201 of the best ODI runs that you can ever get in a situation where Australia were. Testament to his brilliance. But the next three are dominated by India. Maxwell is top of the list for that 200 because it took something freakish to deny Afghanistan. Virat 50th ton celebration. The way how he got to his 100, the way he celebrated, the crescendo of that, that was the most viewed moment also. And after getting to his 49th ton and the way how he was giving the press conference after that with Sachin Tendulkar, the way he hugged him, the way how he greeted him, it was the most viewed moment at that time also. So Maxwell Kohli's 50th and his interaction with Sachin Tendulkar also was there. You thought Kohli with the bat dominated? No. Kohli's wicket that he took against the Netherlands in that last league game was also one of the most viewed moments. Whatever Virat Kohli did with the bat, with the ball, with the field, it became viral on social media and on all video platforms that were there. Plus, the fifth and the most intriguing thing was Afghanistan's win over Pakistan, boosted by the fact that the dance which Rashid Khan and Irfan Pathan had, that went quite viral. The celebrations and Afghanistan were the team in this ICC ODI World Cup, the ultimate darling team. And because of that, these 5 moments really broke the internet, really broke ICC's social media and video platforms in the World Cup of 2023. So, the key takeaway is whatever Virat Kohli does turns to gold. Be it with the bat, be it with the ball, his moments will always dominate. But if you have to look at the peak match where there was massive interest, it was either India-Australia or India-New Zealand. New Zealand also, if you just have to look at the league stage alone, it is India-South Africa and India-New Zealand. India-Australia doesn't feature in Chennai, very surprisingly, because the unfortunate thing was in the first 2 weeks of the World Cup, there was not much hype, there wasn't much of marketing, there wasn't much of anticipation. After the second week, the anticipation and the build-up really grew. The way how India were playing until that final, it was really a sight. But Australia dominated and the numbers support them also in that sense. So a windfall for the ICC when it comes to the ICC ODI World Cup of 2023. BCCI mismanaged it at the very beginning, but now they staged an epic recovery and the numbers, profits, everything else is in the green when it comes to the ICC ODI World Cup. Thank you so much folks for joining us for this live. We'll be back with more updates on sports related. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live. And don't forget we are on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram as well. Bye-bye.